Welcome to Chain Leaders. I'm Jason Croft, and I'm here with your host, James Malvesti and Johnathan King.
What's going on?
Hey, everyone.
So I'm excited to jump in with this episode here. We're talking about the three-headed snake of the blockchain industry. I know you guys have interviewed hundreds of industry leaders around this blockchain space, and these kind of three common monsters keep coming up over and over again. And I thought we could take a deep dive here and really give these folks, identify not only what those three pain points are, but some of the solutions that you've found and you've been able to offer a lot of the folks that you're out there speaking to.
Of course. Well, Jason, thank you for that, man. We've spent a lot of time trying to dive into, what's going on and get a good feel for what's happening in this industry right now. And like you said, there's three things that have just been prevalent in all of these conversations. It seems that businesses and individuals and projects are all experiencing some of the same pain points. So you guys want me to tell you what that is, what those are. We've got trust issues, huge, and we're going to get into that a bit with James as well. And so education is a huge problem, educating outward facing. So talking to your clients, talking to the prospects, educating non-blockchain individuals, and then connecting with the right people, getting the right connections that are going to help your business, help your project, help things get off the ground or take it to the next level. And so those have been kind of the most prevalent things, these three-headed monsters, that three-headed snake that just keeps popping up out of all these conversations.
Yep, absolutely, Jonathan. I mean, like I've said in previous episodes, all these things play off each other. And when these three things are dealt with, it's very synergistic in terms of how much value can be created. So the first one, if we want to tackle that, it's the trust issues. And, if you think about it, there's a couple of reasons why there's trust issues in the blockchain space. I mean, I guess the first thing is that this is a relatively new industry. So all these new ideas are cropping up everywhere, and we have a natural aversion to what we don't know, especially if there's a product or service that's outward facing to other verticals, other industries, because they've been doing things a certain way and they're going to naturally mistrust. But to double down on this trust issue, the second part to that is that there are some people in the space that are trying to make a quick buck, and unfortunately that spoils it for people who are trying to create something real and create real value. And how do you pick between these people? And that's of course a tricky thing, and it flows into number two. But yeah, man, I'm sure you've seen the same, of course. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I think if anything was calling us forward to show up and try to figure out, how do we use our skill set to help solve that problem? And we're natural connectors, and that's what I literally love doing. And so being that bridge of trust, how do we connect with people and almost start weeding out the people that are not in it for the long run. They really are focused on just what they can do for themselves and not for the industry, not for our goal of mass adoption of this technology. And so building trust is huge. You have to just take more time and be patient and have real conversations that aren't driven by, hey, let's hurry up and get this result, or let's hurry up and get this money. Let's hurry up and do the deal. Because the faster you rush, the faster the project slows down. The faster that problem does not get solved. You're going to put yourself into situations that you don't have enough information on to even make a good decision. And when you do that, you're risking years of hard work. You're risking, sometimes millions of dollars of investment. And that's tough. And there's a lot of pressure there. And we want to figure out how to help people in those situations go to a place and connect with people that are credible. They've got a proven track record. They They know what they're doing. They're not just trying to sell you something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when it comes to trust issues, so a common scenario that we've seen happen over and over is that a sales team or the salesperson or the founder, who's ever out there talking with people, has to spend a lot of time to develop that trust. And of course, everybody has to do that. You can't just walk up to someone and go, yes, buy my $100,000 solution. It's, that's not how it works. But in this scenario of blockchain, there's, a longer cycle. And, obviously there's various reasons for that, but there's also things that help shorten that cycle. So one of those things would be authority, the other credibility. And there are services that we provide through our network of partners to help achieve those goals. That could be credibility in getting a person into a media publication that is trustworthy with a story that comes across as trustworthy. And, I think these are critical things to have in place. Otherwise, the salesperson or the founder is going to have to do all that work of trust and it's not even about the trust of believing the person. It's trusting them enough to devote their busy schedule to start learning and understanding what it is the person does and how exactly it can help them. Because if you trust someone more, much like if you're the biggest person you look up into in an industry or what, those in that type of scenario suggest something, that's when you devote your time and actually pay attention to it. So these are important things, these particular elements and the services to provide.
For sure. And that next thing, that kind of takes us to some of the things, or just that second part is education. And when we say education, it's that literal meaning where you're teaching someone something and teaching someone more about your company, your service, your product, your mission, your goals. But then there's the aspect of, from a marketing standpoint, it's awareness.
Yeah.
You're educating the group of people that you would love to serve about how you would love to serve them. Like, let's tell them how this works. And so one of the biggest opportunities we saw this year was the shutdown, the lockdown, COVID. Anytime, you had entire countries. I live in Spain, and so you got entire countries that went on lockdown for months. And what were we forced to do? You watched a bunch of Netflix, you changed your business model and were on Zoom all day, and you spent a lot more time on your phone. And so some companies outside of blockchain and inside blockchain took that as an opportunity to say, hey, guys, this is time to double down. There's people in this space right now that are afraid to market and people are pulling out. But to me, light bulb goes off and says, hey, this is the best time to market because I've got the direct attention of people who are bored. They're done watching Netflix after a week. They're done reading, they've done all their home workouts, and now they're looking for something else. So now is a great time for the blockchain industry as a whole to be educating and putting content out and giving people a chance to learn about what it is that they're doing, what their goals are, and what that vision is for their company or for the industry. So I just see that as a huge, huge opportunity to educate.
Right now, there are people sitting outside of your business purview that do not have any idea about your solution. You have to think of, how do I take a person from realizing there is a problem, letting them see this thing that is costing them a lot of money or causing issues within their team or whatever it is that your service provides, right? The issues of trust and bringing credibility and authority. You have to have those elements into your education, because what good is a blog if it's just a boring old blog? You have to, how do we fuse this content, whether it's video, whether it's something that shows credibility, or whether it's put on a platform that only credible information can get on, right?
That's right.
And how do we look at that information in terms of your typical customers and the customer journey? How do we communicate to that person what this problem is that is wreaking havoc on their business? Because a lot of people have these big problems. Like, I was thinking about an example of how a particular blockchain solution. We were talking about someone in the oil and gas industry, and it was, because they didn't have that solution in place, they found that just a small sliver of the business was losing $400,000. And they didn't even know they were doing that. But by implementing their solution, they were able to save that company that immediately, like that. And, so some people just don't even know that they have a problem. So it's like, let's bring the problem, address it with that authoritative content. Then let's make sure that they understand this is the solution to that content. And when you are the bringer of the good news, people will trust you. And obviously that makes it a hell of a lot easier to take a person from meeting with them, the sales process, to getting them to the point where they get it and they see it's going to help them, and obviously go with your solution.
I like that. Yeah. And then finally, that third aspect, and it's really a combination of both of the first two things, the trust and the education. It's connecting with the right people. My experience has been, I've seen so many projects, and we've talked to so many people that have, absolutely amazing, life-changing, problem-solving, world-changing ideas and technology, and they're all at different stages, but you can see, you can often see along their journey, along their timeline, where something went wrong. They've either worked with the wrong team of advisors, they've worked with the wrong marketing or PR agency, they've gone with the wrong exchange to list, but all of that is really about not understanding who to trust and not being educated on, what problems the people that they've chosen have solved before, or what problems they actually are capable of solving. And so looking at that, if we take it and say, hey, a lot of your success is going to be just connecting with the right people. And if you've got people on your team that are focused on literally just networking, relationship building, building trust within the industry, then that project is going to move a lot faster. And so I know that's something we're passionate about, and that's why we're doing what we're doing, is because we see those opportunities. Like the gentleman in Nigeria that we talked to, huge problem with the money, the multiple currencies on the continent, and various countries don't accept each other's currency, and so that system is just broken, and they've been able to create a solution for it. Now, they're stuck at this point of they've generated millions of dollars in revenue, but they need more in order to scale this and then make it a real solution at scale. And so for us, those guys never leave my mind, because those are the people that I want to help. And so we're leveraging not only this platform, but our conversations, our relationships, to say, hey, guys, we're keeping you in mind. So as we continue to talk to investors or VCs or exchanges, any of those guys, we think about them, and then we connect them, because that's going to be something that helps push their project forward. Connections with a trustworthy and an experienced person. And we're only knowing that from building the relationship, taking that time, and then looking at what content they're putting out, for example, that educates us to make us feel comfortable about sending that referral.
Let me bring another dimension into the challenge of the right people don't connect. Because I think that when it comes to blockchain, there are so many different skill sets that are required to run a good, effective business. And any given individual can't be an expert at all these particular disciplines. It's like this article I remember reading about how people, when they choose a doctor, they have a lot of difficulty choosing who's a good or bad doctor because they have no reference point to choose who's the brilliant doctor and who's the bad doctor that might, in a couple years after being with that doctor, harm them in some way because they're not doctors. They don't understand that skill set. They don't understand that knowledge to have that reference point. And I think this goes on in blockchain because there's, very technologically heady, and there's obviously other elements to the business. So the problem is that sometimes a person that seems like the perfect partner might just be the person that seems very confident. And the first three letters in confident is con, because basically, it's sometimes if you don't understand what a person does and they just come across confidently, I'm going to go with him. I feel comfortable with him or her, or whoever it is. And this is why it's so important for legitimate projects, for projects building something of value and something real, to bring that content that has credibility and has authority and clearly describe and explain how you solve each person's problem, and, not just from a standpoint of an insider, but why would this person in the agricultural industry, or why would this person in the luxury goods industry care about this blockchain solution? What's their world look like that they would go, oh, this is going to help me achieve my goal. I wasn't even thinking about blockchain, but this will help me achieve that goal that I have. When it comes to what we do as chain leads and provide in terms of a service, we're looking at all these three major issues and addressing it through the creation of credible, authoritative content that would make a decision maker look at it and create trust, which is absolutely necessary, done through content that will take a customer through that journey and help push them along. Because again, as we have these conversations, there's always a challenge in how do I educate this person? How do I keep this person learning about these things? Well, we have to make sure that it's not only authoritative and credible, we have to make sure that it is captivating, interesting, and exciting how it's written and created. And that's absolutely necessary. And then we take this content. And the thing is, when it comes to putting content out there, or putting a video out there, or putting an article on a reputable source, yes, it will get out to great people. It will definitely get out to some great decision makers. But let's take it one step further. Let's get that content and that information out to the specific decision makers you're looking for. So we actually carry this out to key decision makers through content outreach, proactively outreaching to these individuals to start conversations and start a sales process. So I think that's sometimes where it's missing, where we have that sales effort, but without that juice behind that sales effort to, let the person have this interaction where, oh, I see what they've done. I've heard about you guys. Oh, I'm searching for you guys. Look at this cool stuff on this company. I trust them and I trust what they have to say. Without that, it's going to make things significantly slower.
Well, James, this has just been, such a fun journey so far.
It has.
Just talking to so many people, getting all of this insight, and I think we went into this with our experience in marketing and our experience in consulting and management and just business in general, and that has helped us have a different perspective. So a lot of the people that we speak with have been so laser focused on their project and their product and their service that it's often hard to think outside and get a different perspective, which is what we've been able to do. And so we can help by just seeing how easy it is for a company to be able to start building that trust through content, through education, through brand awareness for their company. So taking that, and we know the things that have already been working for a lot of people, the PR, the marketing, the community building. We understand that, but then taking our own hot sauce, our special sauce, and putting it on what they're already doing by creating ways to strategically target their audience and strategically go after who they want to connect with, throwing in the call to action and getting someone to basically convert into a conversation so that they can start building these relationships with the right people, and also connecting with more of the right people and serving more of the right people. So we just definitely look forward to continuously bringing some value through this platform and bringing up these ideas and bringing content to you guys that's going to be able to help you grow your business. And if you have any ideas of people that we should have on, anyone that's doing anything innovative to serve this space, to push the blockchain industry towards mass adoption, let us know, tag them, just get us connected. We want to have them on the show. We want to have more of these discussions, and we want to help more people. So thank you guys for listening, and we look forward to connecting with you again on the next episode.
For more episodes like this, make sure you subscribe on your favorite platform and follow us on LinkedIn. If you'd like help scaling your blockchain company with a custom authority-building approach to lead generation, reach out to us at chainleads.co. We'll see you next time on Chain Leaders.